Have you ever wanted to drive a digger? Well, you're in luck because developer Just Add Water and publisher Wild Productions brings you Dig VR, which is hitting the PSVR2 on the 29th of April. The only question is it worth digging into your wallet to get this game? Let's find out. Dig VR captures the sheer joy, adrenaline and frustrations of life on a digger in an exciting experience for novices and pros. Featuring authentic, immersive controls that recreate the feeling of driving a real digger, Dig VR is a light simulation game with a casual arcade twist. The game has plenty of customizable options in terms of how the digger controls, if you'd like to use the analog sticks or the physical sticks in the cockpit, and there's even vignettes if you need those for comfort settings as well. The game starts you off on your dad's farm, and this is the tutorial which will teach you the basics of how to drive the digger. This is from the simple movement to rotating the cab and moving the arm and actually digging. There's more to this game than digging holes, but we'll get onto that in a bit. But this is a really nice tutorial. It does pull you in gently to the game. I always like to start off with the graphics. The game does have a slightly cartoony aesthetic to it, but they are going for realism as well in terms of the environments. It's just got that slightly cartoonish edge to it. For me, the resolution is a little bit lower than I've come to expect on the PSVR2. It's not using any dynamic foveated rendering. It appears to be a fixed foveated rendering, so when you see the dig outlines, as you move around, you will see them coming into focus, and some of the text can be just slightly blurry in the distance, but it's not bad. It's just I wish it was a little bit better. It could really do with that dynamic foveated rendering, which makes the PlayStation VR2 brilliant. The game takes place in the town of Diglington, and you find yourself trying to build up your business, going around the town and helping out the residents. From some very simple requests of tidying up different sites, digging out ponds, or even cleaning up a meteor strike. It's very quirky, but it's charming in its own way. But it's not a massive overall story what all ties it together, but you will go back to several places more than once, and you'll complete different tasks in each of those areas. While trying to build your business, you start out with just a mini digger. But as you complete the various tasks and missions around the town, then you will unlock a further 3 diggers, each of which are all customizable with skins and decals. These are also unlocked by your performance on each of the missions. The missions can be performed in graded, Zen, or once you've completed the mission, you can do a time trial, each generating money. Completing the missions on graded will generate the best income and the most amount of money. Getting an S rank on these as well will unlock additional paints, skins and decals, so you can customise your diggers. If you want a nice chilled experience, Zen mode doesn't have penalties, so you can smash as much as you want as you're going around the level, whereas the graded, if you make a mistake or you break something, then you will be penalised for that as well. Once you've completed it, the time trial is an additional option so you can compete on the leaderboards against your best friends. Around your office, there is a few interactable items, but most of these don't do a great deal. But there's a telephone and some numbers around the office. You might find an Easter egg or two.
In the call queue. Please hold.
Just digging holes isn't what Dig VR is all about. There are many different tools you can get for your digger. With the digging itself, there are different sized buckets which can make a difference. The buckets can also be used to lift items. And then you have a compactor for packing down the ground. You also have drill bits, hedge trimmers, and grabbers. There's quite a few different options and tools to learn and adjust, and even saws. As the game progresses, you'll find yourself using a majority of these tools on each of the jobs. This mission, for example, I had to use the rock breaker to break the brick wall, swap over to the grabber to put these bits into the skip, then I had to get the drill bit to drill the holes, then I had to get the bucket to put the actual post in place. It's very involved, and then of course you've got to leave the site, all without breaking anything. It really is quite addictive once you get into this. It's a very simplistic play style, but I did find myself really wanting to learn and master and not break anything. It's really an enjoyable game to play. The sound design complements the game really well. Each digger does sound slightly different, so do the tools, and every movement does sound like it should do. There's also a radio in both the office and the diggers, which is tuned to Dig FM. This has a variety of tunes you can listen to while you're playing the game. Some of these are copyrighted as well, and you will find that if you are streaming, this could stop your stream or pause the recordings. But there's options to have a streamer mode which would actually eliminate these tracks, so you don't need to worry about any kind of copyright strikes. Majority of the game, because I was recording footage, I just had the music off and just concentrated on enjoying the game. If you want to take a break from the main story, then there's a couple of different mini games you can compete in. These can be done solo or with a friend, or you can just simply compete on the leaderboards. This ranges from bowling, where you just knock over the pins with a wrecking ball style, and these are in different formations. Then there's hook a duck, where you've got to get the ducks with the hats into the bucket as quick as possible. And then there's a scoop game, where you've got red balls and blue balls. The blue balls are the ones you want for points, the red balls will deduct the points. These are nice distractions away from the main campaign, and you can also earn money while you're doing this. There's also a daily challenge for lost treasures. In this, you will move around the site, and your bucket will resonate when you're near a treasure. You dig these out, and then these are collectibles, which are all viewable on a board, and you can actually pick these out and place them into the office. Throughout my time with Dig VR, I didn't have any kind of performance issues, and nothing I would consider really game breaking. The only thing I came across was during this level where I was cleaning out the swimming pool. After grabbing the first couple of items, I just couldn't grab anything else. No matter how much I tried, it would not work. The bucket just kept going up whenever I tried to close it. This was easily resolved just by restarting the level. It was a little bit annoying, and I only mention it because I did come across an issue, but it wasn't game breaking. Just resetting the level did progress. Other than that, Dig VR is pretty smooth sailing. So let's get back to my opening question. Should you dig into your wallet for Dig VR on PSVR2? I think it's yes. You've got to love simulation games, otherwise it may not be your thing. But in terms of what it does exactly what it sets out to do. It's very enjoyable, very addictive, it's a lot to learn and a lot to master. But overall, I had really great fun playing this game. There's not much more I really want out of the game other than that resolution boost. If we get resolution fixed on here and some dynamic 4V rendering, I think this would be pretty much just spot on. And I would happily recommend this to anybody who loves a good simulation.
Something that we'll never forget. The freedom